I have a commanding voice.
Shut up.
Whoa.
Shut up. Hey, what's going on?
Sorry.
No, we're rolling with it.
I'm sweating.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Peak to Middle School. We're all... Are you sweaty, Willig?
I'm not sweaty.
I'm drenched.
I'm very sweaty. We are joined today by our buddy Willig, his third time on the show. Do you get nervous, Willig? Do you
No.
feel like
Are
you're
you nervous?
in front of like millions of people?
I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, millions.
That's why I would expect you to be a little nervous.
No.
Oh, okay.
I got nerves of steel, man.
Okay.
You're also in front of me.
That's the more nerve-wracking part right there. It's Kyle.
I tend to give people nerves.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome back. Hopefully you've all been... I don't know. I don't really care how you've been doing, but hopefully you're excited to see Willig again. Willig, you have officially graduated college. You are...
That makes one of us.
Yeah, one of the three.
We got a college graduate in the studio.
If we had Shim here, it'd be one of four.
Yeah.
Well, no, he didn't.
He didn't
No.
graduate.
Did he graduate?
No.
But yeah, Willig, I wanted to know, what is the feeling like when you finally graduated, that you turned in? What was the moment? What was the last possible thing you did or clicked before you were officially done?
Yeah, I had a final. Actually, okay, so my department, the business school, had our graduation on Sunday the 7th.
Okay.
And I had a final on Monday the 8th, which was weird because we watched our virtual graduation and then
So
I
you
had a
graduated-
final the next day.
So what if you failed it? Then you graduated, but you didn't?
I mean, the graduation, you like walk at graduation or whatever. Obviously, we
Oh.
didn't this year, but yeah, you would have just not. I guess you would have just not graduated. I don't know.
What was your graduation like?
It was weird. I mean, like,
Wait, you guys had a real virtual graduation?
it was a virtual graduation. So my department did one, and everyone was just on like webcams and stuff.
So was it like you could see all the people?
No, so like none of the students were like live on webcams. We just like submitted a photo, and they just went through a slideshow. Basically, we had some speakers, various people in the department like talked or whatever, and then
How many people total were on this call?
well, so it wasn't really a call per se, right? Because like
It was just like a live stream?
they couldn't hear or see me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a live stream
Okay.
basically.
Some good Wi-Fi.
I mean, I think it was all pre-recorded as well. So they did all that, and basically we just watch it. And
Yeah.
they at some point they have slides, and they go through all the different students who are graduating and all that stuff. But then, so yeah, I finished Monday after turning in that final, and it was a tough final, the toughest of college, because my motivation was so low, and I quite honestly just put in very little effort in the class.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, hey,
Bro,
C's get degrees, right?
Yeah,
Like,
at that point,
I
like,
graduated.
does it matter at all?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I have a job lined up. I don't need to worry about that. It really didn't impact my GPA. There was no reason, unless I actually
Your
genuinely
pride,
wanted
Willig.
to. Okay,
Pride.
unless I actually
Knowing that you
genuinely
accomplished
wanted to
something.
learn the stuff.
Yeah.
If I did, then I would have tried. I
Okay.
didn't care to learn it, to be quite honest.
Okay.
And so at that point, I was like, I'm not going to put in all this effort for a very, very, very marginal return. So yeah, and then the following weekend we had our like big school graduation, right? And that one they set up it was more of like a live stream than versus like being pre-recorded. And so
Yeah.
they had people like set up basically doing the full ceremony, like the staff members and stuff, and like doing this like fake walking thing. So
Where was it? Was it
kinda
like
weird.
out in the place in like the gym or whatever where they normally do it?
So normally they do it at UW Stadium.
Yeah.
So it wasn't there. There's this place when you first like during your UW orientation, it's called like the pillars. There's these 4 pillars that each represent a different like
The pillars of the
Like
University of
Buddhism.
Washington.
character.
Yeah,
Or
it's
Hinduism.
kind of like Buddhism. So what are the 4 pillars?
It's so it spells life,
I hate it
LIFE.
already.
It's loyalty, industry, faith, and efficiency.
Excellence.
Efficiency,
Oh.
I think.
The other E word.
So they had them out there, and yeah, they had this fake walking ceremony going on, and yeah.
Did you participate? Like, did you watch all of them?
Wait, so did you?
I did not watch the big one. I
okay.
watched the departmental
Okay.
one. The big one was like 5 hours long,
Oh,
and
fuck
you
that.
see your name and picture slide across, and it's like, woohoo!
Yeah.
No,
Not off.
like, it just doesn't matter. And for me personally, it was more about just the experience of like knowing that I am done and I'm
Yeah.
graduated. That's what excited me. I didn't care so much about like the ceremony as
Yeah.
much, you know.
Yeah. So what was the feeling? Are you like,
Dude,
Did you wear your cap and gown during it?
I didn't even buy a cap and gown. I literally.
hey, that's smart.
No, I
Yeah,
feel
I mean,
that.
it's not. I mean, I can borrow somebody's for like graduation photos and stuff, but the feeling is pretty crazy. I mean, like the first 16, 17 years of your life basically are dedicated to school.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing school when I was 0 or 1 or 2.
Okay, sorry, not the first 16.
I want to punch you in the face.
Yes,
Three
from
to-
when you're
three to-
5, from when you're 5 to when you're like 22, right? Your school is your big
So
responsibility.
it's still 17 years.
Still 17 years. Just not
So
the first.
fuck you.
Yeah,
Alright.
screw you, Kyle. But yeah, so finishing that felt pretty insane. Like honestly, the next day when I woke up, I was just sitting in
Yeah,
bed and I'm
dude.
like, wow, dude, like
I have
I have nothing to do. Like honestly, it's been a while too, because most of the summers recently I've had jobs and I've had things going on, so it's not like summers back in the day in like middle school where we didn't have anything to do,
Yeah.
and it was that same feeling, but as an adult, which
So-
is weird. And yeah, I don't know.
Now, what is your daily schedule consist of? Now that you're a big graduate, you're a real person now. What is the real world like?
Oh,
Tell us. We don't
God.
know. John and I don't know.
I wish
Yeah.
I knew what the real world is like. Jeez. My schedule is not a schedule that anyone should ever aspire to attain. I go to bed like 3, 4 a.m.
Clutch.
pretty regularly, and wake up noon, 1 p.m.
Hey, I mean, you still get your 7 to 8 hours.
In
And-
fact, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you
no,
there.
you're good.
That's 9 hours or 10.
okay.
Yeah, I still get my sleep.
That took you a while.
I have an alarm set on my phone for every day at 1 p.m.
Okay. See, as long as you're consistent, you got to respect it.
So that's where I'm at the moment.
All right.
I listened to a rap one time by Mac Lethal, and who's
You're
that?
going to say Macklemore. I was like, I
No,
already don't
Mac
respect it.
Lethal, the guy who was like back in the day. There was the white guy raps fast at McDonald's. You remember that?
I
There was a
want
guy that
double
what-
cheeseburger and
Yeah,
whole-
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy.
That guy. He
Remember that?
I don't remember.
McDonald's
it
rap?
was like a viral YouTube video back in the day.
Okay.
But he made a song about how like a lot of people talk shit if you like go to sleep really late and wake up really late. But as long as you're operational for the same amount of hours in the day, it
That's
doesn't
true.
change anything.
Okay.
As long as you get your shit done.
You're right. As long as you get your shit done, that's really what it comes down to. My problem.
He doesn't have shit to get done.
Okay, I don't have shit to get done. That's true. But the other problem for me is like, and I think most people is your productive hours realistically end when it gets dark a lot of times, or like maybe shortly after it starts getting dark, unless you have to like cram for a test or like cram for something.
Yeah.
Usually once it starts getting dark, like all right, I'm gonna chill now.
Is that
So-
when you ramp up now?
No, I mean, I'm just saying.
dark, baby.
I'm just saying my productive hours are cut in half now because
Yeah.
it's like I'm not gonna be productive after I eat dinner most of the time, unless I seriously have something
Yeah.
I need to do.
But you're like a pretty serious, gamer nerd. Like I'd say
You're a fucking
not in a
nerd.
bad way. Like I'm a gamer nerd, and which I want to get into in a little bit actually.
Okay.
But some people, I know a lot of editors, for example, are most productive when it's like 1 a.m. because there's no distractions. Do you feel like that, or are you just like a normal schedule person?
I'm like, because I can't call myself a normal schedule person, but no, I'm not more productive
Yeah, you're
at
not-
night. I'm
okay.
just like, it's all kind of, like, again, right now, because I don't have anything going on, it doesn't really make a difference to me. And
Yeah.
also having 3 roommates who also stay up late makes it really hard to not stay up late.
Bro.
We keep each other up because one more episode of TV, one more
Yeah.
game, one more this, one more that.
It's never
just-
one more.
It's never ever
never
one
one.
more. And so we're always, and then like, we'll finally stop watching TV, and then all 3 of us or 4 of us will sit on the couch on our phones, just like talking, doing nothing
Yeah.
until 3:00 in the morning. So
I remember going to a Halloween party with you, and I slept at your guys' apartment on the couch. And the next day I had to wake up hella early because I had something the next day. So I woke up at 6 to drive back home. And Taz was still up with 4 other people in his room
talking loud as
playing
shit.
music and just like yelling at each other. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how do you do that? And for you probably have to deal with that like all the time.
yeah,
Yeah, but you can tell him like, shut the fuck up.
and I do. I'm not gonna beat around the bush when it comes to that stuff. Like I will make them be quiet when they need to. Usually it's fine because it's like, it's it's a problem when I have something early to get up for, if it's a test or something like that. But when that is the case, I will walk into the other room and I will tell everyone
Yeah.
to shut the fuck up or leave.
Start beating ass.
And they'll listen, and
Eating
sometimes
ass?
it takes me a couple reminders for them to actually
That'll
quit.
get 'em
You
to
say
stop.
eating ass.
Yeah, you
Well, I
start
said-
eating ass.
Just walk in the room and just start eating ass.
They'll stop.
They will stop talking, I would imagine.
Yo,
but-
imagine Willig walks out there. He's like, all right, come here, guys.
Spread them.
Just starts pulling people's pants down.
Shit.
Have you guys ever eaten ass?
No.
No.
I'd be down.
You can eat mine.
No, not yours.
That would be good
but-
content. I
uh,
don't think we could ever look each other in the eye again after that.
yeah.
If you saw my hole.
I don't think I could look at either of you guys in the eye.
Dude,
after
I don't
that.
get like a lot of guy friend groups
Each
like
other
show
guys.
like see each other's dick and asses a
No.
lot. Like I never want to see any of your dicks.
I don't think they want to see each other's dicks. They're just like they'll whip it out and it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
"Oh, I
like
didn't
funny
need
to
see
them.
that."
It's like, oh, look at my dick.
So okay,
Like-
so I think some people are generally just more okay with just like being naked around other people. Like I don't know, some people are just more okay with that. But also, I will say, like living in a fraternity for 1 year, like everyone showers at the same. Like
Yeah.
you have multiple showers next to each other. There's no divider, no separating wall. It's like yeah, we all fucking see each other's junk, but you just don't talk about it and you just move on, type of thing. You know?
Just don't stare at it in the eye.
Yeah.
Don't look at it in the eye.
Imagine you're like
eye.
taking a shower and you finish and you walk out there and one of your housemates, what do you call them? What are your
Brothers.
Your brothers?
fraternity brothers, I guess. Yeah.
one of the guys? He's just waiting right outside your little shower area, staring at you with a full on just a raging erection.
And he's licking his lips.
I'd probably get out of there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just minding his business. He just happened to be looking your way.
Not if he's looking at me while licking his lips.
Yeah.
No longer minding his business.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Okay, Willig,
Mm-hmm.
you graduated. You have this euphoria. Your sleep schedule's fucked. Tell the people, you don't have to say like specifics, but what are you doing? Like what's your job? What are you going to be doing?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be diving into cyber risk consulting, which most of you guys probably have absolutely no idea what it is, which is totally fair.
not all of
See,
us.
when you first told me that, I thought you were going to be Mr. Robot.
Yeah, we were just watching Mr. Robot, and John's like, "Yeah, Willig's gonna be doing this."
And then
So,
I realized
yeah,
it's
no.
probably not the same at all.
So I have a business degree. My strengths lie in like communicating with people and like interactions, stuff
You're
like
good
that.
at interacting.
Yeah, I'm also okay with technical stuff, but it's by no means like my strength.
Yeah.
So I kind of found like a nice medium doing cyber risk consulting because it's I have the technical aspect and the cybersecurity and all that.
Yeah.
But then it's also consulting. So a lot of what I'm going to be doing personally is going to be more like hands-on with clients and more based on like interacting with people rather than sitting and coding and developing
Okay.
these cyber risk solutions.
Okay, we're going to put you through a little exercise right now. I want you to give me
For the
a hypothetical problem that has happened,
Can I
and
be
I
the
want you to
client?
consult me.
Can I be the client?
I want you to consult Kyle.
Yikes.
I'm upset with my problem.
I
Fix my
mainly
problem.
just want an example of
Well,
like
that's just
what
not
you.
very helpful. What's your problem?
Kyle's been
Consulting.
hacked by all his
nerds.
Yeah.
All the nerds. They got my
all his
my
data
technology-
has been compromised,
Yeah.
Willig,
Okay.
my high risk.
and he's come
data.
to you, and you're the consultant.
Okay.
help.
Is this even accurate at all to
How
what
can
you would
you
be doing?
help?
Honestly, I'm not positive, but what I will say is if all your shit's already been taken and all the data's already out there,
They're currently
kind of
taking
you're
it.
kind of fucked.
Well, it's
Like,
not all the way. It's like halfway taken.
What a good consultant.
I'm just gonna be
Sorry,
honest
you're
with you,
fucked.
sir. Like
You guys are fucked.
you're
Okay,
fucked.
What if it's like I received a letter from an anonymous address, and they said we will take your items. I need security, sir. How can you help me?
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Ah, the classic. Yo, I was talking to. Sorry, that was a really bad like little bit there that I was trying to create, and
yeah.
it didn't make any sense.
Well, honestly, like even if you gave me a very realistic scenario, I haven't done any sort of
This is-
training
yeah,
or learning.
that's
I
the
don't
start
know
of
what
this
I'm going to
job.
be doing exactly, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to answer that.
I was talking to my boss the other day about how like, isn't it crazy how technology has gotten so advanced, and there's so many things that are just wild that you can do with it, yet still to this day, almost like so many issues are solved by turning it off and turning it back on again, or like blowing in something.
So yeah, something that really pisses me off and that I can't fathom is like how do just bugs happen in a game? Like all of a sudden I'm playing Fortnite and then like nothing renders
Yeah.
and it's like that for everybody. It's like the game's just a certain way, right? How does it just like happen?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because from like the general consumer perspective, you think that,
Yeah.
oh, they've built the game so that it looks this way and it functions this way. How can it just randomly not function that way? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Example, yesterday I was playing and I was getting shot with like a P90.
Okay.
And dude, it was the sound of a P90 being shot at me. The guy stopped shooting, and it just kept shooting.
Yeah.
Like the sound was playing for like 5 minutes, and it was so annoying.
So I can't answer that like specifically, but if like for people who understand coding and development more generally, it's so complex. It's so much more complex than any of the consumers probably realize, or most of the consumers probably realize. Like the amount of code that goes into developing a game like that is just actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so like one little line of code can make it so a bug can happen like that. And so it's like, unless the code is literally perfect, and even then I feel like there are ways that you could get bugs from.
Yeah.
So somebody fucked up.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, but do you think there's things out there where the code is 100% perfect and it will never have a bug, or do you think it's inevitable?
I would say because of the way humans are, it's probably pretty inevitable. I think it's probably possible to have perfect code. I don't know.
But that's why building a robot would be dangerous, because you're programming this robot and you could do one little hiccup and then suddenly it's like super violent. And you don't want it to be violent, and that's why they can take over.
That's a great
also,
thought.
I saw a chimp flying a drone on Twitter.
Did it scare you?
Pretty scary.
Yeah, dude.
Why would you teach a chimp to do that? Because, dude, I've seen movies.
Okay, but
we
came from monkeys of some sort. So like,
that's what I'm saying.
We have common ancestors.
They're not,
but they're way stronger.
No, the monkeys have a maximum level of intelligence that they're not going to be able to surpass.
Can we stop putting diapers on them too? Why are we putting diapers on them?
I mean, because they're kind of cute.
Well, I feel like if they're being like kept indoors and stuff, then they might need.
Well,
diapers.
don't do that. Keep them outside. Keep them in the jungle where they belong.
Are you anti-zoo?
Yeah,
I am anti-zoo. Yes, I don't like the zoo.
Don't lie, you love going to zoos though.
I like the idea of going to a zoo, but then I go and I usually get sad. There's usually a particular habitat that I see and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah,
so I feel that and I agree, to a certain degree. But wouldn't you say like in some situations it's a better quality of life? I guess it depends on the zoo. It depends on how well they treat the animals and all that stuff. But like, wouldn't you say like them not having to fight for their survival all the time is kind of a relief in a way?
Yeah,
no,
I'd say at times.
Because
Because some of those animals, if you let them in the wild, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So if you were just put into a box and you have no threats against you, no disease can ever kill you, and you're just in a box now for the rest of your life. You can't interact with all your tiger friends, your other
counter. Huh? What if he's put in a box with a really badass PC? He's got like some fake grass.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got I'm serious.
That'd
be fucking lit.
For my life.
No, a bad PC.
A badass PC.
Oh,
a PC. A badass PC.
No,
he's got grass. He's got the sun. It's outside, so it's beautiful. He's got a pool. He has everything he would ever want. He has friends with him.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where I thought you were going with it. I thought you were saying a bad PC. So I thought you were trying to replicate, like, you know how they replicate like their environment, but it's like real shitty. So it's like if you were in Willig's natural environment, he's got a PC, he's gaming, let's say.
All right.
You get a shitty computer, shitty everything. You got bad Wi-Fi, just bad connection, just everything's bad, and you're stuck in this little room, and then you just have to play all the time.
I would not like
he
that.
He could do other things.
And I don't think a kangaroo wants to live in a little box.
They're not always little. Sometimes they're sort of big boxes, but
yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, listen, I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
All right.
But all I'm saying is, if I got a free ticket to a zoo, I'm probably gonna take advantage of that.
I think I would too.
Dude, you also never have to work a day in your life if you're an animal living in a zoo. Like, you never have to work for anything.
They don't have to worry about trying
to
go kill something to stay alive.
They're not constantly hunting and running.
Think about a person that is.
Well, but they're not
do
people.
Shit their whole
they're
life.
different than people. They kind of lower on the totem pole.
You have to separate animals and people.
Okay,
yes, I'm all for treating animals right, but they're not humans. Like, there is a difference.
Yeah,
you know?
But some people would be so mad that you just said that.
I apologize, PETA, and everybody else who cares a lot.
Have you ever seen that's like a sad dog?
Yeah, of course I've seen a sad dog.
So they have feelings.
I never said they didn't.
Yeah, no, they have feelings, but they're just like
sad.
All I'm saying is the ones in the zoo probably don't know any better.
Yeah.
Oh, they know.
That's just their life. That's
They
just
fucking shot Harambe. I'm still not over
yeah,
that.
that was pretty sad.
Bullshit.
Granted, he was not that he was trying to hurt the kid, but he was dragging a little kid by his ankle through the water. Like,
I should have shot the mom for
That's
letting
just
the
what
kid
gorillas
jump in.
do.
like
Imagine
how
he shot
did
the
the
mom
kid get
instead.
in there?
That he
just
just like jumped down and his mom wasn't paying attention and he got down the
That's what I'm
railing.
saying. They
Do we
should
know?
have shot the
was
mom.
the kid like intentionally trying to get down there?
Well,
Did
I don't
he
know.
like
I
slip?
think he
Do we
fell.
know?
I think
How
he
do you?
fell.
Bad balance. What an
I
idiot.
don't
That's
know.
survival of the fittest right there.
I don't disagree.
Dumb kid.
I wonder what that kid is doing nowadays. Like, do you think he gets bullied at school for being
He's
the
the-
reason Harambe died?
Yes, I think he does.
I mean, he was also pretty young. I feel like the Harambe thing hit harder for like
I
high
would bully him.
schoolers and like, you know.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
just
But
some-
he wasn't he like 7 or like he looked really young.
I don't think I've even seen the video.
You haven't?
it's kind of. It's actually pretty scary.
It is pretty scary.
Does he like pick him up and like throw him around?
Dude, he literally
he's like holding him
grabs-
by the ankle.
he grabs
literally
the kid by the
dragging him
ankle,
around,
and it's
running
like-
around.
Did the kid die?
No, but like,
Imagine if you
dude, he could have, bro.
Hulk smash.
The monkey was putting in like zero effort, and he was easily dragging this little boy around.
He was literally just holding him and like running
like
around
a
and like
stick.
dragging the kid through the water and shit. Yeah, it was pretty scary. Like if I was that kid's parent, I would have been terrified for his life.
I was listening to a podcast and they were arguing whether a gorilla or a grizzly bear would win in a fight.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I've talked to you about this before off air, I think, and I've also didn't you research it to find out like the facts?
Did I? I don't remember.
One of us
I don't remember
researched
much.
because they were what were the animals again?
Gorilla and
grizzly
bear.
Yeah, and
I think a
a
hippo
lot of
beats anyone,
people a lot of people think when you hear that it's going to be the grizzly bear because they're huge and they have claws and shit. But it turns out I think that the gorilla would beat the shit out of a grizzly bear.
Can they use tools?
But let's say no. It's like a battle arena.
So like fit hand to hand claw combat.
Yeah,
Listen,
full-on
I could
combat.
be wrong, but I know that it was proven that one of them would probably beat the other one by a lot.
I'm pretty sure.
I'll find
I
it.
want to say that gorillas are stronger,
Yeah, gorillas are
but
strong as
grizzly
shit.
bears do have sharp teeth.
They're like
and
triple
sharp-
the size too.
Yeah, and they're way bigger.
Yeah.
You want to
Alright.
just look it up so we don't sound like idiots?
Who wins?
I think we already
in
sound
a
like idiots,
fight?
John.
Our whole show is just basically founded on
or
sounding like idiots.
Dude, my ass is just so wet.
Guys, all of you listening right now, send us a message on Instagram. Let us know when you play Xbox, do you sweat? Or when you play video games, period, do you get sweaty? Not because your room is hot, but do you just sweat from the act of focusing on a video game?
From the adrenaline.
Because Kyle and
No.
Shim do.
I mostly sweat. I think it's because my room gets hot.
I don't think that's true.
So
I mean,
if we're
I
playing
would
here,
sweat,
if
but I
we're
sweat
in
way
here,
more.
and we're playing 2K in here.
But it's really hot in here.
It's not hot in here.
I'm fucking sweating hard.
Because you're.
It's because you're just a sweaty person.
Yeah. All right. What did you find anything?
I think a bear would win.
Is that what it says?
The
Or you
top,
just-
the top says the outcome either way is still the same. Bear wins due to sheer size, strength, and claw/teeth.
Oh,
But it wouldn't.
that's good enough for me.
I think, yeah. I'd love to see it.
Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk to you about, Willig. You recently got your first own personal PC, and it sounds like it's a complete just savage of a computer. What's it like being? Because you know, at my core, I'm a gamer. I feel like I'm an artist is like how I would first identify myself, but the second one right behind that is a gamer.
That's the first. Okay.
Like, okay, at your core, what do you feel like you would describe, like, the number one thing?
I would not describe myself as a gamer, number one.
But
I
it's
would
like,
make
it's
that
probably
clear.
up
But
there,
yeah,
right?
but
What
it's
is your
it's
number
a
one
hobby
identity?
of
It's
mine,
a
for
main
sure.
hobby.
And I spend a decent amount of time doing it.
I'm Alec Willig, and I am blank.
What would you say?
God,
Let's
that
try
is
it. You
such a
try it
difficult-
first.
Why you,
Sexy.
You're
okay, no.
I don't know what I would
What
say,
are you?
actually. That's really hard.
That's a hard ass question. I don't know.
an entertainer. You like to entertain people. You like to be the one who's, like, making... You
Yeah.
like to be the one who, like, makes people happy when
And
you're hanging out with people.
I am Kyle, and I like the one to be happy to make them.
What?
That's a fucking word, dude. These past 2 episodes, I've said some of the dumbest things.
I literally
I'm
think we lose
progressively-
brain cells
I'm
on this
progressively getting dumber. Let's move on.
Dude, I don't know what I would describe myself as in one word.
show. Okay. I want
That's-
you to
that's
to
difficult.
think about that, and that's
Okay.
your homework. Next time you come on the show, you're going to say, I'm Alec Willig, and I am a
Last time-
sexual predator
last
or
time-
something. Well, not hopefully not that, but something similar. Or
Along those lines.
yeah.
I think last time he was on, or one time he was on, we did something.
We
where
did
it was
like the 5 words
Yeah,
or
like
something
describe
like
No,
that.
it was
yourself.
like 15 words.
yeah.
Oh, was it
describe
15?
yourself. Or
Yeah, it was
whatever.
like 15.
Yeah, we had some number of words. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did do that.
All I know is it ended with
Jerk.
to jerk off.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
But
I don't remember.
I guess my question is, how's your PC? How's it feel having a gaming PC? Because I've never really had a good one. Kyle's never had a good one. What's it
I've
like?
never even had a PC.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, honestly. I mean, like I've been playing video games since I was young, and for most of my life it was just on an Xbox.
I will say the experience on an Xbox, it's one of those things where it's good if that's all you know.
Mm-hmm.
If all you've ever known is playing on Xbox, it's great. But as soon as you get a taste of a PC experience, it's like you can't go back.
It's so true. So
Really?
yeah, no, it like a lot, like you said, like you haven't really experienced PC
No.
gaming at its heart. And so yeah, you wouldn't really understand, to be quite honest. But it just runs.
You just wouldn't get
You're
it.
fucking
you just-
stupid. So
Kyle, you ignorant slut.
exactly.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. It's just like, it just runs everything so much smoother. So for anybody who's watching who is interested in PC gaming or understands it or knows any of the parts, I'll give a little bit of background here.
Nerds.
Yeah, give me your
So,
parts.
just like the main ones. The main ones is I have it's an Intel i7 9700K. So it's a newer type of Intel i7.
It's like porn for nerds.
A GeForce RTX 2080, and I have like 32 gigs of RAM. I got a terabyte of SSD, 2 terabytes hard drive. So
I'd
32 gigs of RAM.
32 gigs
I've
of
ran
RAM.
That's
those
a
32
lot.
gigs.
I'm never ever short on RAM. So basically, yeah, I mean, like you were saying, on Xbox, for example, you're playing Warzone, right? And you're looking out a couple hundred meters out, and everything
Catching
is
dust.
just blurry, right?
All
Like
the time.
all of the
Constantly.
buildings, everything, all the landscape, it's all blurry, and then you can just see like some people
Yeah.
in that blur sometimes. For me, I can see everything and it's crisp the entire time.
Yeah.
Like I can be looking through my sniper scope or whatever.
It's
And
like real life.
Close.
yeah, I mean,
But I'm
like,
saying, like-
far closer than
Yeah.
the Xbox
Yeah.
for sure.
And
But
what's-
yeah, so it's just like you're able to see quicker when you're turning everything. It's just smoother. It's just like it really just changes the way that gaming feels, and
Yeah.
it makes it a lot more enjoyable.
And what's really cool is that, so I feel like a lot of people get turned off by the idea of PC gaming because they feel like that you have to learn how to use a keyboard and mouse, which if you've never done it, like
That would be daunting for me.
it's really
Yeah, it's tough to
really
learn.
hard for the first like month, I'd say. But if you do it, if you play like an hour a night
it's
for a
muscle
month,
memory, just
you-
like everything.
yeah,
else.
you eventually get really used to it. But so I don't play a whole lot on PC anymore, but I used to play a lot of Counter-Strike with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to play with a keyboard and mouse on that game. So I got to a point where I was comfortable with keyboard and mouse, but then I would play Fortnite on PC like a couple years ago, and I could use a keyboard and mouse, but I just didn't like how it felt on Fortnite. But what's cool is you always have the option to just plug in your controller and use your controller on your computer if you want to. So it's never like you have to use keyboard or mouse if you don't want to.
Right. Totally gives the option, and it's just an Xbox that's 10 times as powerful.
Isn't there, like, the best gamers are mostly like keyboard and mouse, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Most- depends on the game, but there's and
Let's say
like
Fortnite, for example.
recently, I feel like like with Fortnite, for example, like more and more people, it seems like, are playing on controllers.
There's
or are successful.
well,
on
I would
controllers.
say
a majority are still keyboard
like
and mouse.
80% are probably PC keyboard and mouse, but then there's like a rare breed where
There's a freak with controllers.
yeah, but like it's
It's
like someone who has like a shitty basketball shot, but they're still a good shooter. It's like you're at a disadvantage because your shot is fucked up,
Okay.
but you make it work.
yeah.
All
So
right.
it's like
It's a good way of looking.
I
at
think the best you could probably never have the best player in the world be on a controller because it's like
the skill
Sean
gap-
Marion is never going to be the best shooter in the world, but he could be a pretty damn good shooter.
Okay, but like, do they do different divisions for competition? Like, do they have like a controller division and a keyboard, mouse and keyboard?
Yeah,
I don't really. I think so.
I feel like they should
do
if
that.
it's there's like a
I
serious
know like
disadvantage.
some of the like Nick Merckx, for
Yeah.
example, right?
he
Like
plays
he's on
controller.
controller, and there's another guy named like Aiden who's on controller, and they're both like really really good players, and they play on PCs with controllers against PC players who are on keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
They fuck shit up.
And they fuck shit up.
But like, yes, there are certain games in esports where there's literally 2 separate leagues entirely. It's the console league and the PC league, but most games don't go through that much effort. They just say like Call of Duty is a controller game, where it's like if you want to compete in Call of Duty, you got to use a controller.
Okay.
At a professional level.
Is
but
that,
like,
is that how Call of Duty is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But Call of Duty has always been, well, it used to be played on Xbox back in the, like, I'm talking competitively in like the pro scene. They would play on Xbox with Xbox controllers. Then a couple years ago, it switched to PS4 with PS4 controllers. But now all the pro players are complaining because it's gotten to a point where everyone realizes that PCs are just better. Like, there's no reason not to use them. So they basically are like coming together and saying, if Call of Duty isn't on PC next year, like, we don't want to play it. So, but it would still be controller. So like, if there's someone who's a streamer who's really good with keyboard and mouse, you can't compete professionally with keyboard and mouse. So it's
I think what it comes down to is, you know, if you look at like what the controller is, and you know, you only have you have
4 fingers.
4 fingers to use for the most part.
Depending on how you
thumbs,
hold
two fingers,
fucking claw shit, right?
Some people play
some
claw.
people do that.
Can't do
That's
that,
just
dude.
weird, and it seems like it's just like fuck up the joints in your hand or something if you do
You
that
get
for too long.
arthritis if you do.
Ow,
Bro,
That
but
seems really
a
bad.
lot of the pro COD guys, like the top of the top guys, a lot of them do play on claw. So they're like,
Yeah, I believe
I'm like,
it.
what the fuck?
I believe it. I don't see how, but I believe it. But yeah, with keyboard and mouse, you just have like so much more control. There's more fingers that you can use to press different buttons, so you can do multiple things at once. You can turn while you're moving and pressing buttons. There's just like way more control is what it comes down to.
And sorry, I'm gonna turn your mic up just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'll try to talk closer.
No, you're good. And what's really cool and super nerdy is that a lot of the mice nowadays, like gaming mice, have buttons on the mouse. So your hands are here, but there's buttons on the side. There's buttons on
that
top
you can use instead.
and you can keybind them to anything you want. So like in Fortnite, you could have this little button.
The kids are just like,
Yeah, you could have this little button by your thumb to be like this.
that's
do
why I
this.
get destroyed all the time.
It literally.
It's not fair.
There's certain things you just can't do on controller.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So my whole point with all of this is that I'm very jealous of you, and
Yeah, dude.
I want to get all of our friends to get PCs at some point. So then, listen.
I'm just not gonna spend the money on it. Like,
No,
Okay,
but
you-
if you get to a point where you have disposable income, you got to get it because you'll be like, wow, this is so much more fun.
You will genuinely, like, I want you at some point to come over and just try my PC. You will tell instantaneously. You'll be able to tell how much better it feels.
And it's not just
instantaneously.
that it feels better; it's that you perform better
Yeah.
too.
So
is
go ahead.
that different than like console on a monitor? Like console on
yeah.
a monitor helps with reaction time. but a
I always
PC
play on monitor, and
Yeah.
even with my console, and the PC makes a huge difference.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Huge
it's
difference.
like,
and I'm still playing on a 60 hertz monitor. Okay, so are you familiar?
Nope.
Okay. Basically,
Tell
my
it to me like I'm
monitor
6.
my monitor caps the frames at 50 or at 60 frames per second, more or less. It's not exactly the way that works, but basically, my monitor only updates 60 frames every second.
Is that a lot?
Compared to an
better
Xbox,
than-
yes.
Yeah.
What's an Xbox?
I think
30.
I'm pretty sure Xbox games are all capped at 30
Oh.
FPS, so it's double what your Xbox would get. Now my PC can run some games, like I'll play on max settings for most games now, pretty much every game now actually, and I get anywhere between like 150 and like 250 frames. So my frames are updating, 150 times a second, but my monitor can only display those updates 60 times a second. So basically, if I were to get a 240 hertz monitor, it would update 3 times or 4 times faster.
Yeah.
So it can basically, I'm just saying there's even that much more room for improvement. And
Yeah.
even with the monitor I have, you would be able to tell instantly.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, like when
It's
I had
very
that
noticeable.
little face where I looked confused, I was trying to think of like what would real life frames per second be like, but then I realized it's just infinity because
Well,
there's no frames.
I've
Yes and-
heard, okay, people have said that like your eyes can only see 60 frames a second or
No,
something.
you're-
I'm pretty sure that's all bullshit, right?
Well, no. So here's the deal. I actually learned about this
Okay.
in film school.
Cool.
Movies, every movie you see, well, The Hobbit was different. The Hobbit was filmed in 60 and anyways, but 99.9% of movies you see are 24 frames a second. as opposed to 30 or 60 or 120, because video games are totally different than movies. But the reason movies are like that is because the human eye can only perceive 24 frames per second.
We suck.
So perceive in the sense that that's what like looks like real life. So when you watch a movie, the reason that it looks like real life is because it's 24 frames per second, which is like what our eyes naturally understand.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were to see it, like, I don't know if you ever watched The Hobbit, but The Hobbit was filmed at 120 frames a second or 60 frames. And then that new Will Smith movie, Gemini Man, was like 180 frames a second. And if you watch it, you can tell like this doesn't look right. And if I didn't tell you that and you watched the movie, you would know something was weird, but you wouldn't be able to. You'd be like, "What the fuck is up with this movie? It looks weird."
But how can we see if we can only perceive 24 frames per second?
Okay,
how could you
can
watch something that's
see-
180?
You can see faster
see
than
more.
that.
It
Yeah.
just looks weird to us. It doesn't look like real life.
Dude.
I'll do that.
No, I
I'll
understand.
show you the movie, and
Okay.
you'll see. As soon as you turn it on, you'll be like, "This just looks like buttery. It looks like a video game, which isn't natural."
Concept just confuses me.
And then, like, if you were to watch a gaming video on YouTube, most videos of Fortnite, let's say, that you click on are going to be 60 frames per second on YouTube. But if you were to watch some guy's Fortnite video that's 24 frames a second, it would look weird because that's not how games are meant to be played.
Okay, I get that.
And so, yeah, sorry, I just had to nerd out on you guys for a
so-
second.
Oh, it's cool.
The human, we can only...
No, so, okay.
Because there's no frames in real life, you know what I mean?
I know, I guess I didn't say it right when I said we could only perceive
Like
whatever.
maybe that's just the closest thing to what looks like reality that
Yeah.
we've determined. Okay, that I understand.
Why movies are, I think, 24. I think this will give us a good explanation. Okay. Originally, 24 FPS was chosen as the film frame rate as a compromise between having a frame rate fast enough to create fluid motion to the eye and keeping film stock costs down.
Is it just because that's what we're used to?
It's the slowest
so.
possible film rate that is still acceptable to watch. So meaning, you know those hella old black and white movies with no sound?
They suck.
And it's like 15 frames a second. That's why it looks like hella choppy. So
Is
I
that
don't
why
know.
everyone, dude, like when I watch videos of like baseball players from like 1910, they look so fast. But
yeah, it's because there's less frames.
they're not. Okay.
Yeah, so I think part of it too is kind of like you said, it's just like what we're used to.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, once it gets to a certain point, like when you're gaming, you need to be able to see the information faster because you have to react to it. Whereas when you're watching a movie, you're sitting back and you're watching it. You're not reacting to anything. So like it looks at 24 frames a second, it looks fast. Like at 30 frames a second when you're playing Xbox, it looks fine. It looks smooth, right?
Yeah.
But it's when you start looking at, 60 frames, 120 frames, all these differences that you realize how much slower it is. But on its own, like you said, like people who just game on Xboxes, they think it's fine. It's great. Like it's all you need, right?
So if you went back to Xbox, you'd be like, this sucks ass.
Yes. I have.
See, that's what it's like. You're getting to the finer things in life and like you're ruining things now.
No,
Why?
he's
No.
figuring out there's better things out there.
You know, yeah.
It's like
Okay,
if
but
you
why would I ever go back to my Xbox? Why would I go back to that now?
You won't.
Your PC breaks.
Well, that would just be shitty. But
That would be
that would really suck, and I'm just gonna assume that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
I mean, there's no reason for me to downgrade now.
Yeah.
Like this will last me like 5-6 years. Of
It
being,
will
like,
be a
really good
bummer
quality.
if there's like a Xbox exclusive or a PS4 exclusive you want to, or PS5 exclusive you want to try, or it would be shitty if, well, most games are crossplay, but wait,
Some
how did
aren't.
you get in our Xbox party the other day?
I
Yeah,
can do
that's-
that from my PC. So Windows
looking at
Windows
Kyle.
allows you to do that. There's
Oh,
like a
that's
Windows
awesome.
system. So I was able to go just through my computer. Like I downloaded the Windows 10, like
Yeah.
normal Windows 10 Home, normal stuff. And I'm able to. I saw actually Kyle invited me to a party, and I was
Thought
like,
you
"What
were
the heck?" I
ignoring
got
me.
this notification on my
That's sick.
on my PC. That's weird, and it said like press Windows G or whatever. It's like I click it, and it just allowed me to
Oh.
join the party straight from my PC.
Wow. So I guess there's really, I was gonna say it would be a bummer if the boys are playing a game and we want you to play with us, but you can't because you're on PC. But I feel like nowadays that's almost not an issue anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like for the most part, every game developer now, for the most part, especially with like multiplayer games, is really trying to push crossplay. Like
Yeah.
I think for a long time, especially like Microsoft and Sony were really hesitant to do that because it's like they wanted everyone to buy their console.
Yeah,
And
that
like,
makes
oh,
sense.
your friends are on PS4. We want you to buy a PS4. We don't want you to play on
Yeah.
Xbox and then be able to play with them.
Now we're all just getting along.
Dude, no, but for real,
Yay.
I think the Microsoft and Sony are realizing that that's just not the way that that's going to work, and no one's going to outright win the console wars or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they in order to please their customers, that's just kind of something that they have to do, and so they're allowing that more so now, and game developers are pushing for it, and so yeah, for a lot of games it won't matter, and if it comes to happen that there is an Xbox game that's only on Xbox and you guys are all playing it or whatever, then I still have my Xbox. I still can.
Yeah.
It's just gonna feel a little weird.
Yeah.
But
How is the PS5 different? Like better? How is it better?
I think it's just like upgraded specs is the biggest thing. So it'll
It'll
be able
look
to,
it like the same type of shit we were talking
Like the
about.
fr- like, okay.
It'll-
It's like in
it'll
between.
look better. It'll feel better. It's
Okay.
just not gonna be as good as his PC.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah,
Because I guess if you play like Xbox 360, it's just.
sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
dude.
But also, the games were older too, so it's hard to tell if it's like the actual console versus the.
I mean, it's both.
It's both. Yeah, I mean, but the games on the Xbox One wouldn't be possible on the 360 because the developers
yeah.
know the specs of the Xbox One and now can make games to fit those specs, which are more demanding and run differently, run better, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
I have a fucking rant about gaming.
Oh.
Go.
Why in the fuck are we in 2020 and you can't just put in a disc and play a game? We're going back.
Oh,
we're going
I know.
forward in every aspect except for the fact that I have to download a
So
fucking
much shit.
50 gigabyte update every 2 weeks. And every time I get a game, I have to wait 9 hours to play it. Like,
That's what I'm
listen,
saying.
I get it's more. There's a lot of new stuff that weren't in games back in the day.
We could figure it out.
Shouldn't we have
got
figured
people on the
that
moon
out?
in 1960. We could figure it out.
How can I not buy a game and play it within 10 minutes? It's stupid.
Agreed.
Okay, I'm just gonna say Call of Duty Warzone is a 200 gigabyte game.
Yeah,
Or
why? But
Modern
why is it
Warfare
so big? And why are all the
Because-
updates so big?
Just compress
Okay,
it.
honestly, I don't know this for a fact. I feel like Call of Duty Modern Warfare probably was developed very poorly, and so it's like because like depending on different ways that you code things, like the game will take up more space basically. So
It
I
is.
feel like it was probably developed pretty poorly, and there's no reason that every update should be like at least 20 gigs.
Yeah.
like
There was like an 81 the other day.
I-
It took
I-
a whole day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like
So-
what?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there are reasons, especially having to do with the size of it, that makes a big deal. So it just needs to be able to pull out information faster than having to read it off of a disc the whole
Yeah.
time. You know.
I have a theory.
I don't
All
know.
right,
Go
hit
ahead.
me
They
with it,
want
Kyle.
you to buy more space for your
Storage.
Xbox, so they make it big.
Sure,
Yeah, but that doesn't go through Microsoft.
yeah, I can buy an external hard
I
drive.
bought it
and
on
buy
maybe
external
a
hard
hard
they're
drive.
they're in
No.
cahoots.
Now maybe they want you to buy the Xbox One X or whatever it's called that has like
Yeah, that
extra storage built
Sure.
into it. But you could also just buy an external hard drive.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's the reason.
Okay.
Okay,
I
don't
could
rule
be
it out.
wrong. Yeah.
Remember back when there was the Red Rings of Death?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
they did that on purpose?
Yes.
I got the Red Rings of Death because my Xbox was dusty.
I got
I literally
it too.
had to take the panel off and vacuum it off, and it worked like a charm.
See, but mine didn't work no matter what I did. And some people got it 3 times on their same Xbox, and some people think that they did that they built it to fail.
It's like an iPhone.
Built-in obsolescence.
Eventually, it just fails.
Um,
That's a word I don't know.
Built-in obsolescence.
think about it.
Yeah,
one
it's
word,
like
one word at a time,
obsolete.
Kyle.
Built-in.
So it's
Obsolete.
and it's
Just so it dies.
obsolescence.
Become obsolete.
Build it so it dies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go.
Perfect.
It's possible.
I'm on
I feel,
Context
I, feel like
clues.
I feel like the Red Rings were probably more of just like an error warning. Like,
Yeah.
they just go off to show that something's going wrong. But
Yeah, that's true.
But the iPhone thing, I believe that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
100% they're built in obsolescence, dude.
Yeah, it's
After
bullshit.
a couple of years, they just start slowing down so much.
Yeah.
We need more people for the people. You know what I mean? Like we need to hire up people for the people. Because if you're just being selfish and I get you're not gonna make as much money, but like just do it for the people.
You sound like Mr. Robot.
That's what I'm saying. I watched one episode of Mr. Robot, and I want the people to get what they deserve.
Yeah, fuck those conglomerates.
Fuck the society, or whatever. Everyone.
F society.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that shit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, God, wouldn't it be great if it were that simple?
Yeah. That's all I want.
Okay. we're just gonna stick with gaming because I still have more things I want to say. So there was the PlayStation event and they announced the PS5, the design and stuff. And I got some questions for you guys. The original speculation was that the PS5 could be $800. Now, they think there's leaks now that it's probably going to be between $450 and $500, which is a lot better.
It's not that bad.
If it was $800, if like let's say the new Xbox comes out, let's say PS5 or Xbox are the same price, would you spend $800 for it?
No.
That's like,
dude,
rent in Seattle.
No, that's less than rent in Seattle.
That's true.
Yeah, I was just okay. And then there's also a lot of talks that games on the new consoles are going to be $80 now instead of $60.
That would be really stupid.
Why would they do that?
Which is kind of fucked. And so
They're not for the
60
people.
is enough, dude. 60 is already so much money for a game.
Yeah. And I like how like I think like a lot of Nintendo games nowadays are $20 or $40 as opposed to 60. Because I think there was a time when like the new Pokemon game would be $60. But I think a lot of them nowadays, like on the Switch,
like
are
the new ones that come out are $40.
I don't know, but I know that like certain games, like Animal Crossing, was 40, I think, instead of 60.
Okay.
But I don't know. Are you gonna buy it if it's 500? Would you buy it new, or are you still gonna wait to buy like a refurbished one?
I want to see what the new Xbox is.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess like if everybody, like, I'll just follow suit pretty much. Like I want to play with whatever console all my friends are on.
Yeah.
PC.
No, dude. I'm not gonna spend $3,000 on a PC.
You don't have to.
You
That's
don't
what I'm
need.
saying. You could if it's okay. You could buy.
I don't even have a desk.
You could buy an $800 PC, and it would be miles better than the Xbox.
Okay, but
And
That's what I'm saying, dude. I feel like so on this note of $800 or $80 for games or whatever, I feel like as gaming continues to get more and more mainstream and popular, you know, like now you have esports being shown at bars and like it's in the X Games.
That's kinda
and all.
crazy.
It's crazy.
The
Like
Olympics.
it's pretty wild. So as that continues to happen, I feel like more and more gamers are gonna quote unquote wake up and realize how much easier and better it is just to get a PC.
well, and if you really think about it, let's just say $1,000 for a good PC. You obviously you could get better ones, or you could spend even less. But like, let's say 1,000. If you're gonna spend, let's say when it's all said and done after tax and after you buy 2 games, if you buy a new console, 2 games and tax, you're gonna be at like what, $700, $800 or something.
Yeah.
So like, you're only spending a little bit more for something that'll probably.
It'll last longer. Number one,
the consoles last pretty long, but like still
they do.
Okay.
But like my console has slowed down drastically since I've gotten. I don't know about you guys. Like
yeah. The only,
like
I will say
it works fine, but it's way slower than it used to be, and they give you a max storage space of like 500 gigabytes, which is half in like 150.
Half goes to Warzone.
150 goes to the
and then
system.
the other half is Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, 150 goes to the system. You have 350 gigabytes left, and 200 is one game. Like they just limit you in so many different ways. I feel like you're able to upgrade things later on. If one part is weighing you down or whatever, holding you back, you can upgrade that one part for an extra $100 or something.
Okay, I have a question now.
Yeah.
So if I don't want to play mouse and key on a PC,
use keyboard.
What?
Use
a
keyboard.
controller.
I mean, use controller. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
that's the
If you don't want to use mouse and keyboard, use keyboard, bro.
just
the keyboard.
But like, what controller can I use? Just
Xbox controller.
Yeah.
But
You
like,
just plug
what
it
if
in.
I'm playing like a PC game? Can I use an Xbox controller?
Yeah.
I'm sure there might be certain games which are only mouse keyboard games.
99% of the games you could plug in a controller and it
Okay.
works.
Yeah. Totally.
I will say I think the one downside, that only one that I can find of a PC versus a console, is that it's just the casualness is lost because you can't just sit on your couch with the boys and play Madden. See, but I think once you get a desk, you're not going to want to play in bed anymore.
Yeah.
It's not that I want to play in bed. It's just that is
That's what
my
I'm saying,
option.
though. So I think you would enjoy the desk experience.
I'm sure I would.
And then I think you'd enjoy the PC experience. You'd be like, wow, I'm a gamer now.
I also think part of it is because of the screen that you have right now. When you have a shitty TV screen, number one, you have to sit farther away because you can't be close and like look all weird. So you have to be on a couch or somewhere where you're farther away. So I was just gonna say that the first step, switching to a monitor would help. right? That would help. You would enjoy it more. I guess you would need a different spot to sit. I actually totally lost my train of thought, dude. I don't remember what I was saying.
I have something.
Okay.
Part of my why I'm afraid to go to PC or monitor at least is then I won't have an excuse for not being good. My current excuse is like, Kyle, what the fuck? It's like, dude, I'm playing on TV, I'm far away, and like,
bro. But you have to realize there's lots of people that play video games that aren't the goats.
Dude, there's people on
like
PCs
Willig
who are shit too.
Willig's always been good at video games.
I think there's like a natural thing, you know, like some people can just dunk. Willig
Yeah.
just has better reaction time with his fingers. Or
But
something.
also, think about it. Shim and you were equal, and then Shim started playing on a monitor.
But I'm still better than him at Fortnite, though.
Sure,
by a lot.
But he has gotten so much better
Yeah,
just
that's
from
true.
playing on a monitor.
It makes a crazy difference. Like people, I'm telling you, you don't understand until you switch.
Now, this doesn't mean you're gonna be good.
No, but I will say you will be better, hands down.
I'm already naturally super
Kyle's
good.
just gonna hop on and expect to go like 30-0, and then
Yes.
when he doesn't, he's gonna be like, "What the fuck, dude?
Such
The
a waste
monitor
of
doesn't
money."
work."
That's what I'm saying. How much does a monitor cost?
Like $60.
I mean, yeah,
I'll
you
do
can
that shit.
you
I just
can-
need a desk.
You can get
a
a
chair.
If you're playing on Xbox, you don't need a very nice monitor.
Yeah,
You need a
mine's like
1080p
60
60 hertz is what you need.
So I ultimately my just hope is that like I feel like what I've been trying to do is this whole episode I've basically been trying to convince Kyle why he should get a PC. Not because I don't want him to play on Xbox. It's just like I want all of our friends to get the itch that we have for gaming, so then we can all be gaming nerds. It'll be 10 o'clock at night. We all are done with work.
You're the one that goes to bed the earliest.
That's true.
Okay, I'm just saying, I'd love it if all of our friends were like all had our own custom PCs and our desk setups, and we're all just fucking nerds. That would make me so happy.
I mean, I'll stay up as late as possible, but I'm still playing on my console currently. Like Look,
that's not what I'm
have
saying.
swayed me towards.
I'm just saying the thought of like converting your friends to see the light
Okay.
is a good feeling.
Dude, I get it because there's been times already in the past like week or whatever that I've had my PC. I'm like, damn, bro, I wish like all the boys were on here and we could just hop in a Discord call together and just like play any of the thousands of games that are on PC.
On PC, like there's literally tens of thousands of games, and so many of them are free too.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on console, only like the big publishers get to put their games on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
There's not random fucking like. Well,
Indie-
there is Goat Simulator on Xbox, but like, there's just weird ass games like that are just you can find. They're like $1 on Steam,
Totally.
and you just can like play it with your boys.
A much wider variety of games for sure. But yeah, no, I mean it makes me think back to the days of like middle school, and we'd come back from school and just grind Halo or grind Call of Duty for hours. And that shit was hella fun. But
remember, Willig, you and I had a Minecraft phase. A whole summer.
Something that
was
I
it
never
a whole
understood.
summer? I swear
Dude,
it was like a month or something.
No, dude, it was a whole summer, bro.
Who did we play with, bro?
It was you, me, and then our buddy Connor and then his like
Knudsen?
cousin
Yeah.
named Noah, and then these two other kids. And dude, our island was fucking
Nerds.
sick. Kyle, you can't say nerds if you never
You know what I
tried
was doing?
Minecraft.
You know what I was
Never
doing?
tried
I
it.
was getting.
You were getting
I wasn't.
pussy.
I wasn't.
I was getting laid in 6th grade.
No, what was I doing? Absolutely nothing.
You're
Yeah.
playing fucking Zombie Farm.
Yeah, dude.
You're right. Me and Jordan were playing Zombie Farm.
Zombie Farm
Yeah,
is not
wasting
any
actual
better.
money on Zombie Farm.
Spent a lot of money on brains.
Yeah.
I'll admit.
Yikes.
I was getting my knees dirty. I was running outside.
Hey, it's not that we didn't play outside. I have many
play less
memories
outside.
playing outside with Willig.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we're a little better at COD now. We put in that time when our brains were still developing and we were practicing for the future.
Well, I'm an elite athlete, so
That is true. Can't argue with that.
yeah.
We should probably hop into the segments
Let's
here.
move on. Dude,
do it.
My ass is gonna be. I'm gonna have like a mark on my ass.
Yeah,
was
we
gonna-
get it. Your ass is sweaty, Kyle.
And
I was
like
gonna
the
have to take
shorts
a
that I'm
shower.
wearing are like
Sticking to your leg.
no, it's like a t-shirt material, so you
Oh,
might
it's
see.
hot.
Yeah, and you might see.
Oh, dude, ass sweat line.
That's gonna be a lie.
Nice.
I'm afraid.
Yikes.
All right. So, for those of you who are new around here, before we hop into these segments, please go leave a review on the Apple Podcast app. This is Willig. I want you to know you are on the last episode of season 3 of PIMS, because this is episode 149. So starting on Thursday, we will have new segments, some new changes to the show. So I want you guys to be excited. But if you could get us to 100 reviews, that would be awesome.
That'd be super duper.
Because then we're going to do a habanero podcast.
Whoa. Why we agreed
And
to that.
it's going to be very miserable, but probably very entertaining for you guys. So tell your friends to go leave a review. All right.
Have you left a review?
He
Oh,
has.
yeah. I did
good.
it early.
He was
on.
like first 10 people.
I was early on.
Good boy.
All right, Kyle. Today we have A and F of the week
Yes.
and movie time. So I'm going to start it off here because I have two A's.
Okay.
We're going strong for the end of the season here. After 10 years, EA, there's just a lot of gaming in this episode. EA has announced they're coming out with Skate 4, and I could not be more excited. Skate is like the GTA of like sports games. You can literally do anything. Skate 3, I spent probably, other than Modern Warfare 2, I think I spent more time on my Xbox 360 playing Skate 3.
That's such a random game to grind.
I
It's
grinded
not
Skate
random,
too.
though.
I've never had
I
a
grinded
skate game.
Skate too.
It's
Yeah.
so, it was like so big. And what's so funny is that the reason it's my A this week is because the Twitter community is literally who made this happen, because for years, I've seen it for at least 4 years on Twitter. People from all these different communities have been tweeting at EA like, yo, make Skate 4, make Skate 4, make Skate 4. Tyler, the creator, tweeted to EA to make Skate 4 6 years ago. And then they responded to his tweet the other day and they're like, all right, we did it.
That's sick.
And
Is that how they
was
announced
cool.
it?
I
That would have
mean,
been cool.
they
Probably
did
at the
that,
same time.
but they did
yeah.
other things. They like had a real announcement, but just the fact that like the community basically pressured them into making it, I think it's gonna, do really well, and I think a lot of people are gonna love it. So
Okay.
I'm excited.
What's your
I'm
other
sure.
A?
Do
Or should
you
I
want
get
to?
mine?
You do yours first.
Yeah, mine is we have a returning A. It is
Whoa.
Diego the tortoise.
He's back.
He's back because if you know Diego the tortoise, Willig?
Not
Okay,
familiar.
so he's this giant tortoise that he single-handedly saved his entire species with his jizz.
He was the last one, and they had him breed like 100.
Dude, it was like so many kids.
To
Like 800, I
100.
think it was like 800 kids. Like he had 800 tortoise babies.
Oh my!
Look at him. Look at this man.
What a.
So he's
pimp,
now
dude.
gone into retirement. He's finally retired on an uninhabited island off the coast of
Aw.
Ecuador. So now he's just living his life.
Until
That's
he
what's
gets
up,
murdered
dude.
by something.
That's what's up.
I mean, yeah. Also, I hope someone doesn't go like take him.
Yeah, because now it's public. Someone's gonna go find that island.
Yeah, someone's going down to Ecuador and
They want that jizz.
take
That's
Diego.
some valuable jizz
Yeah,
right
it
there.
really is, dude. That guy's got swimmers galore.
So they retired him. So now they're gonna use the jizz from the new kids to keep him going.
I
Well,
suppose.
I feel like
Or after
when you have
if you have
800,
800, yeah, they
it
can probably
spreads,
reproduce on
but
their
then it's
own.
all incest, which I don't get.
We
They're-
all came
they're
from
animals,
incest,
bro. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but
Well, I don't.
do animals like incest?
I mean, pretty much no matter what you believe about like the creation of the world,
yeah.
whether it's
There was incest.
No,
there
I-
was. That's
yeah.
just like even if it was only if you're religious and Adam or Christian or whatever, and it was
Yeah.
Adam and Eve. Like there's two people,
Or
They
you got
have a-
some monkeys.
they have a kid.
Their
then-
kids be like really messed up though. It's like the second
second
generation of
generation
kids
down.
just sucked.
Yeah,
right?
but maybe that's why.
But maybe
like,
it's had a lot
we
of
are
kids.
the way we are because we all were started from.
Dude, Adam and Eve were probably like had superpowers, and they were just Adam was just like fucking bench pressing like 900 pounds, and Eve could fucking do triple backflips, and then they had their kids, and then they got slowly worse and worse.
to where we are now.
And now we're but now people are going back up because people are getting in better shape now, whatever. That's because we're finally so spread out over time that it's like we're so
the
different.
effects of that incest no longer affect
Exactly.
us.
We're running low on it. So superpowers are coming, guys. Just don't have incest.
All right. Wow, that was a powerful.
I've learned a lot.
yeah.
I'm onto something. It's a
See,
special
you
brain that I
can't
have.
find this content anywhere
Exactly.
else. All right, this next one is absolutely fucking insane. Last year, I did the 30 Days of Hell with Jordan, where we did some intense workouts. We did some running, and then Kyle and I ran a marathon, which was a big feat, and we felt like we were pretty badass. But no, we're not, because Zach Bitter, who's a world record holder for the 100-mile race, he ran 100 miles in the shortest time ever.
How
He
long
has
is it?
now beat the world record for a 100-mile treadmill run.
Dude, oh my god.
He ran during quarantine. He ran 100 miles on a treadmill without stopping. A treadmill, dude. He's not fucking moving. It took him, let's see. And get this, a 7:18-mile pace.
Oh my god.
I don't even know if I could do that right now.
Yeah.
I think that would be like my all-out mile right now.
Kyle would be sprinting, and this guy did this.
7:19 for 100 miles.
Yeah, dude. Look at this cramped little room. He's just in like his fucking house.
That looks miserable.
He's got one fan, and it's one of those oscillating fans
fan.
that have an office.
33-year-old Zach Bitter,
Dude.
ultra runner. Let's see. 11 hours and 19 minutes and 13 seconds.
That is crazy.
Dude, imagine. Oh, wait. Sorry. That was on an indoor track back in in August. He did a 100-mile race on an indoor track.
That would
Was
also
that
be
his
so
record?
boring.
Well, no, he did one. He does a lot of 100-mile races.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So he's done them like
Every week, dude.
outside on trails, and then this one was indoor in a track, which would also be miserable. He ran that at a 6:48 pace for 100 miles. Now this one, I want to see how much his overall time was.
Hey, John.
Yeah,
You remember when we ran
26.2 miles,
2.25
Yeah,
miles
you-
around a track?
and Kyle didn't
invite
come.
Me? No, you guys didn't
Kyle
invite
was
me.
invited for
No,
sure.
they didn't invite me. I felt
you
left
you
out.
definitely just didn't
We
wanna
invited
I
you,
cried.
and you
run a
didn't want to
marathon.
come.
I cried.
You cried. Did you cry?
No, but
Oh.
I might maybe. You'll never know because you didn't invite me.
I hope you did.
I didn't cry.
Wait. At mile 87, he disappeared into the bathroom for 2 minutes to eat a lunchbox-sized bag of Boulder Canyon olive oil and sea salt potato chips.
Why did he go in the bathroom?
Well, to go to the bathroom and to
Oh.
eat. He was trying to be...
know, probably
after,
so
running,
efficient.
after running of
He's peeing and you just.
Dude, how
after
would...
running for eight hours or something.
I don't blame him.
God, I can't find his fucking overall time.
Yeah, that is insane.
Oh, just do the calculation.
Dude, that's one of those things that just like still just, even though I've heard of people running that much before, that's one of those things that will always shock me.
No, yeah.
That and like have you guys seen what's the documentary called? The dude who climbed Alex
Free Solo? Alex Honnold?
Alex Honnold, thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, Free Solo. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. But
Okay.
yeah.
So
I've seen clips from it.
I haven't actually watched the whole thing because the one time I watched it, some friends came over and like wanted to
Yeah.
show it to me and like, okay, you just got to watch the part where he's climbing. So we like skipped all the
skipped
intro
it?
stuff. We went to the part like the day of when he's
Yeah.
like getting ready to climb and starts climbing. I have never gotten so much anxiety from watching something.
Bro,
Like,
I was
I'm
sweating
sitting,
watching it.
sitting comfortably on my couch, like all cozy, whatever, and I'm watching this like shaking. Like this,
God.
it's insane. This is one of those things
Yeah.
that's just like
Wait,
people are insane. People
What did
are
he
wild.
climb?
He climbed
Half
the...
Dome
It's in Yosemite.
Oh, that's
and
like
it is-
the okay.
It's
yeah.
like the highest...
with no
cliff.
ropes, no harness, no nothing. Like literally just him climbing.
And he basically like... And in the documentary, he's like, if I make one mistake, I'm dead.
Yeah.
And like
That's
it's
amazing.
famous because so many other people have tried it and they fall and die.
It's crazy. Like
Dude.
yeah. Yeah.
And they had a whole camera crew. They had like so many people just filming him, and at any moment he could die.
Half the time the camera crew was like, I can't watch right now. Like at one point the dude who's sitting at the very bottom with the camera looking up at him had the camera set up and he's literally just like closed his eyes and sat down. He's like, I can't watch this.
Yeah.
I cannot watch
Bro,
this.
and there's
It's crazy.
times, there's certain parts of this. They map it out all in the documentary. It won best documentary. It's an amazing documentary.
I gotta watch
It's
it.
called Free Solo. I think it's on Amazon Prime, I believe. But
I thought it was Netflix. Is it Amazon Prime?
I watched it on Amazon
Okay.
Prime. I don't know, but
Might be.
he there's certain parts of this mountain that are like more complex than others, and for him he's like the best in the world, so he has mapped it all out, and there's certain spots where there's like nowhere to grip,
The karate
so
kick
you
part?
almost have to jump from one part to he'll basically like get momentum, and he'll put his foot at a certain spot where he basically propels himself. He's like not really like jumping, but he's propelling himself to a new grip. But he like for a moment,
But like if you miss that second grip, like there's a good chance
Yeah, oh,
you're slipping
yeah.
and going
Oh my
down.
God.
and dude, he's like hundreds of feet in the air. It's insane.
One of them, he had to like push his back against the wall and then like kick out his foot to like put pressure on opposite sides, you know?
So
Dude.
there's two walls.
Yeah.
Just, like pushing. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
bro.
like crazy stuff.
Holy shit.
Some humans, dude, are just like
Dude.
a breed above the
Yeah.
rest. It's just not.
He's someone that does not have incest in him. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, there
He's
you go.
broken past it. He's broken.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. So
It all connects.
last thing here, he broke the record of this other guy who his time was for a 100-mile treadmill race was 12 hours and 32 minutes. Just think about watch 12 of our episodes in a row.
And run on a treadmill.
And the guy is still fucking running. That
Yeah,
is crazy to me.
I ran a total of 40 on a treadmill.
But that was over the course
And that was
of
over the course of
40
hours. 40 hours, I guess.
And this guy just did it straight. So.
And I was like, I wanted to cry.
Yeah. All right, Kyle, who's your F this week?
Chris D'Elia.
What happened to him?
There's been a bunch of allegations about
No.
younger
No,
ladies.
No. He was so cool.
So
Yeah.
if you've seen the show he plays a guy that literally is like loves little girls, basically.
Wait, is he the main character in that show?
No, he plays it's like a side character in season 2. Yeah, he plays this guy named Henderson who's like this famous comedian or somebody, and like he has this little dungeon and he like tries to get with this little girl.
Oh,
and
that must have been weird for him to act because he was probably.
I don't think he was acting.
Secretly
Wasn't acting.
Wait,
That's why he
deep
gets
down,
down.
he's
wait, was it allegations of like young
No, it was,
girls
like,
or
just
just like
It's probably teenage.
sexual assault stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, teenage I would still consider little.
Yeah.
So
It was
it's
younger.
not like other women, like adults.
I mean, maybe. All I've heard is like younger. I saw screenshots of some conversation where he was hitting on this girl that was like 17. Yeah, and it's like a span of over years, and more women are coming out.
Dude, this is what you were saying before. Like you said, think about how many famous people we love are at some point it's gonna get leaked that they're fucking weirdos.
A lot of them are.
Yeah. Dude, it's because these people have like, it's not really like power per se, but like fame and wealth and all this stuff. And
They think they
think they can get away with this shit, I think. I don't know.
He seemed so normal. He didn't seem like a
how they get
weirdo.
That's how they get you.
That's what we were saying the other day. It's always the people that seem the most normal. Yeah. All right. Well, that fucking sucks.
Kyle seems pretty normal.
I seem normal. Are you kidding me?
All right. My F this week. I can't believe some of this shit's real. The Ernest Hemingway look-alike competition has been canceled.
Oh, man. I don't know who that is.
Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, that's an
Famous
author.
author.
An old famous author, and there's a competition, and old men with white hair and long white beards, they just come and they just have a contest
compete?
to see who can look the most like him, and it's very creepy. I'll
like-
pull up a photo because they all look the exact same. Look at these dudes.
Wow. They all have
Now, I don't know what Ernest Hemingway looks like, but I'm going to assume
it's
he
the
looks
same
exactly
facial
like
hair,
that.
the same beard. I guess that's the same thing, but you know.
Now, that is one of just the whitest things I've seen in a while. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just felt kind of bummed for these guys. They probably really look forward to this every year, and it's just tough, you know?
It's unfortunate.
So, all right, the last segment here is movie time, and the show I want to talk about today, it's a show. It's on Netflix, and it's called Midnight Gospel. Have you watched it?
Not all of it. I'm a couple episodes away from the end,
Okay.
but I've watched like the first 6 or 7.
So,
Can't relate.
I've shown the first episode to Kyle, and I showed it to Shim, and listen.
Oh,
That's
that was
not-
that show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, this show is really fucking weird. And I'm not going to say, I can't say you're going to like it. I think you got to have it's definitely an acquired taste. It's the type of show where you're either going to love it or you're going to fucking hate it and be like, what is this shit? But for me, I really love it because every episode is very it's a lot of Rick and Morty vibes. Would you agree with that?
Animation wise,
Yeah.
very, very much Rick
Just
and
like
Morty vibes.
color
Yeah,
and
yeah.
craziness and
And, like
goofiness.
random shit happening, and yeah.
And I guess the way I would explain it is like each episode is a different storyline, and each episode is basically an interview with this guy named Duncan Trussell. And if I don't know if this is fully true, but from what I've read, each episode are interviews from his actual podcast in real life, and then they take bits and pieces of those interviews with these interesting people on these different philosophical topics. So like one episode is all about forgiveness, and one episode is about like why people demonize marijuana and drugs and what that means to society, and like one is about love, and all this different stuff. And each episode is a real podcast interview from his show that they turn into an animated show.
That's so creative.
And the last episode of the season is an interview he did with his mom on his podcast before she died. Like they knew she was going to die. And so he had her on to like talk about her life and like love, apparently.
Oh my God.
And then she died, and now they turned that into the last episode of the show, which is apparently incredibly powerful.
Yeah, I have not seen that one. I did have a friend tell me that he started crying during the last episode. Like it was that emotional and that powerful. I think it's super cool. It's a creative way to, I think people need to go into watching it understanding that it's basically a podcast.
Yeah.
And you're really there for the
message.
The message,
you're like
and
learning
the words, not as much like what's happening on the screen. They kind of just like throw stuff on the screen to like give you something to watch while you're, and it's like entertaining and random
but
and
it
weird.
like adds to it too.
And it
though.
does add to it for sure. But the main takeaway is definitely just the conversation. And it's, if you go into it thinking like, I'm just like listening to people talk and like you want to hear people different perspectives about a variety of things, it's awesome. I really enjoy it. I think it's super cool.
Yeah. And like I said, not everybody's going to love it, but I think if you go into it, like you said, with knowing that it's not like a laugh out loud funny show. Like I'm not cracking up every episode, but it's so incredibly strange and weird that at the end of each episode, I actually like learn something. I'm like, wow, that like I watched an episode last night about forgiveness, and it's just such a crazy contrast because the show is so out there and you literally feel like you're on drugs watching it because the colors and the animation, but yet it's such like a wholesome message. And I don't know. I think it was just a really awesome show, and I'd recommend it.
Totally.
Okay.
It's like it's very thought provoking is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It makes you think about what you value and like what you think about different things, and it's
Definitely.
cool.
Very meaningful.
So anyways, guys, with all that being said, we're going to wrap it up here because I am starving. Kyle's ass is sweaty. Willig's fine.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, Willig, did you have fun talking with us?
I had a great time.
That's
it's always fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, man.
On and off the camera.
Listen.
Hey, key takeaway today?
Yeah.
Buy a PC. That's what it all came down to. Just buy a PC.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. It's that simple.
Wear deodorant too.
Yeah. Clean your asshole. Wear deodorant. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for listening. Next episode, there will be new segments. There will be new changes. I'll give you guys a little teaser if you're still listening. One of the changes is we're going to be having a lot more guests on the show.
Hopefully.
No, we're going to. I'm going to make it happen. So we're going to have more guests on the show. And I don't know. We just want to do everything we can to keep it fresh. I felt like there was a period in quarantine where obviously it's hard because everybody's quarantined. But I felt like there was a period where maybe it just got too repetitive for my liking. And I know a lot of you guys are still really enjoying the show, but I always want to, try and always change things and make them better. So
freaky fresh. Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
Something along those lines.
So be on the lookout. Go leave a review for our show. If you want to support us, we have a Patreon at patreon.com/PIMS podcast where you get a bunch of extra content. With all that being said, Kyle, where can they follow you?
Instagram at KyleStafford36. Follow the podcast at PIMS.
What?
At PIMS podcast. Come say hi. Message us. If you have any questions, we're going to do a segment on fan questions. So if you have anything else you want us to talk about, anything like that, DM us.
Yeah. Willig, where can the people follow you if they want to follow you?
I don't really use social media anymore. I'm going to be honest. Don't follow me. Instead, show some love and support to these guys.
Oh, gotta love it.
Hit that review on the Apple Store,
Yeah. I will say I envy that so much. I wish I could live my life
Shut off
and just not use any social media, but I feel like I have to for this shit. But dude, social media fucking sucks. It drains.
It's a dark hole.
That's a conversation I could talk about for a very long time.
It's a dark hole that just wastes time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think there's good parts about it.
Yeah,
we don't need to get into that.
All right. Anyways, guys, you can follow me at Hey Narwhal on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. There are new episodes every single Monday and Thursday, and there is a new podcast that we are launching very, very soon. I will talk about it within the next couple weeks and let you guys know what it is. But for now, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Goodbye.
You want to say bye?
Say it.
Bye.
Bye.